let's move from this book, which you can't quite discuss much of yet, to one that you can. Remind esteemed audience about Spin, which came out, I believe, in January and is on sale now wherever fine books are sold. Give us once again the premise of that one.
Yeah, Spin is about two frenemies, Kaya and Fuse, who have to solve their murdered DJ's killing, and not necessarily because they want to. They're forced to by her pretty scary online fandom. And so it becomes a matter of find her killer or deal with the consequences of fans who have come to love her music. And it's a book that's told in three different point of views. It's told in Kaya's and Fuse's alternating point of view, but it's also told from the point of view of the murdered DJ. Her name's Paris, and we get her perspective all the way up until the day she dies. And then the other two perspectives pick up from there. And so it's a book that's jumping back and forth in time. It's a thriller, which I think pretty well, but it's also a love letter to music, particularly Virginia music, because it's set in my home state, and we've generated some musical legends and people like Timbaland, Missy Elliott, Pharrell Williams, and so it was sort of my everything but the kitchen sink book, or everything and the kitchen sink book, where I get to talk about a bunch of stuff I always loved and never could squeeze into anything else. And I think I pulled it off pretty well, if I do say so myself.
Well, you wouldn't have published it if you didn't think that, right?
Yeah.
And what, I'm going to be facetious and pretend I haven't done something similar in thrillers, but what does jumping back and forth between those two perspectives, especially when we know that sooner or later one of those perspectives is doomed, what does that allow you to do that a straightforward narrative doesn't?
Well, I think it allows you to play with tension more, because you can cut away from present-day scenes and give a little bit more backstory while knowing the reader's sort of hooked and want to know what's going to happen in current timeline. And this is actually something, it's sort of like I sort of took it from F. Paul Wilson's whole adversary cycle, where he had everything built into 0 Day, which is, and I don't know if I'm talking to people who would understand this, but I'm sure you know F. Paul Wilson and the Repairman Jack books. So, you know, he has a whole bunch of books that lead to 1 day that is like the end of the world. And that idea of just 0 Day always stuck with me. And so my 0 Day became the day that Paris dies. So all of her perspective leads right up to that. And jumping back and forth from her timeline to the present just gives me opportunities to ratchet up the tension and then cut away. And I think that's like one of the most effective techniques to keep somebody engaged all the way through a mystery.